Another one at 7:30.
The other ones you said.
I thought we canceled that one.
Recording in progress.
Apparently not. Thank you. Okay, we want to welcome everyone to our West Haven City Council meeting. Today is December 20th of 2023. It is 6:09. We're a little bit late getting started today. My name is Mayor Rob Vanderwood, and I'll be calling this meeting to order. I want to wish everyone a very happy holidays and a Merry Christmas and New Year if I don't see you before then, but we're excited for this time of year and hope the city does well during the holidays this year. What we're going to do is move on to our next item on the agenda, our opening ceremonies. We'll start with our Pledge of Allegiance from Council Member Saunders and move to our prayer or moment of silence from Council Member Schwab.
I'd like to ask the audience to rise and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance after me.
Our dear, kind, and gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight as the city of West Haven and as the council here to make decisions on behalf of the residents that we serve. We thank ye for the wonderful season and the beautiful holiday and cheer. We ask thee that you look out for all of those, especially those in need this season, and take care of them. We ask for abundant amount of snow on our mountains and to freeze our reservoirs. And we ask for these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay, thank you, Councilmember Saunders and Councilmember Schwab. Appreciate that. We'll move on to our third item on our agenda, public presentation. Residents attending this meeting will be allotted 2 minutes to express a concern or ask a question about any issue that is not on the agenda. No action can or will be taken on any of these issues that are presented. Do we have anyone that would like to come forward? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to item 4 for our upcoming events. We have our first item is Senior Lunch Bunch on the 27th of December at 11:30. Looking forward to that. That'll be after Christmas. We set that up so wouldn't interfere with everyone's Christmas time. So we'll have a different theme probably after Christmas for that. We look into the new year then. We also have Arts Council that's coming up too. Is that for the press? Do you have any information on that?
The class?
Yes.
Have to look it up, but it starts in January. It's a printmaking workshop. Seats are limited, so we suggest that you hurry and sign up. It's every Monday for 6 weeks. It's very affordable. It's only $60, and that includes all of your materials. So.
Very good. And then we also have, we have the Marriage Appreciation Dinner that's coming up. We'll look forward to that. That's January 20th at 5 p.m. And invitations will be going out for that. Is there anything else for upcoming events that anybody has? Okay.
Last week when I had asked, Nina said she was going to join you for the senior lunch.
Oh, okay. Did you want to join?
That's still my plan. Also, Emily, will you just get with me sometime this week? So, and just let me know what address you have for me, because I don't usually get the invites to the Mayor's Appreciation Dinner, and I'm not sure why.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely get with you.
Thank you.
This might be the first year we actually invite you.
I'm very excited. Thank you.
Well, now that's on public record.
Yeah, now you kind of have to.
All right. We'll think about it again, but I'm committed now. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Let's move on to item 5, council updates. Any council members have any updates for?
Sorry. Beautification Committee, we have some winners for the first ever Lights of the Season. We did an award a couple of months ago for most beautiful yard, and people nominated, and we were a little slow getting nominations for this, but we got several, and appreciate Councilmember Call kind of putting in some nominations as well. But I'd like to announce the winner is Bruce Henderson of 3072 West, 2775 South. I think he was awarded his certificate today. Is that correct, Mr. Reed? Yesterday. Well, we appreciate you getting that award out. And then the Nate and Tara Torgerson were one of our runner-ups, and then also Posh Petal Floral was another runner-up that we awarded some gift certificates to. So we're excited to kind of put that in, the city website and kind of recognize those individuals and businesses that have helped beautify the city for the holidays. And
Can we get that on our Facebook page as well, too?
yeah, that'd be great. And
Do we have photos of their light displays?
yes, we do.
Great.
And hopefully we can get those posted as well.
So I just got those today. I plan on posting them tomorrow.
Okay, sounds like they'll be up tomorrow. And yeah, I thought they were really cool. So, especially the one over that you had kind of nominated there, Carrie. It was amazing. But yeah, you guys should go check them out.
Okay.
One of them's very simple, but pretty cool, powerful display. So
Excellent. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it. And thanks for putting that together and all involved on the committee to get that taken care of. We always love to have the Christmas spirit here in our city, for sure. Any other council updates? I forgot on the upcoming events that Christmas is coming up on the 25th.
Thank you,
I
Mayor.
didn't want to miss that one. I apologize. And New Year's is coming fairly quick too, right after that. If there's no other council updates, we'll move on to item number 6, action on consent agenda. Item A is for a special city council minutes, the meeting held on November 29th of 2023. Item B was for a special board of canvassers minutes meeting held December 5th of 2023. Item C is for a city council minutes meeting held on December 6th of 2023. Item D is for a special city council minutes meeting held on December 11th of 2023. And item E is for Marriott Construction for $59,255.88. Is there any questions or concerns on any of the consent agenda from the council?
I believe Councilmember Saunders had one addition. It would be for the December 6 minutes on the Staker Parson. He just wanted to clarify that he discussed it with Brock, and Brock was happy with what was at the park currently.
Okay.
Emily, can you say that one more time? Sorry.
Councilmember Saunders asked of the addition to the minutes for the December 6th meeting for the Staker Park to include that he discussed it with staff, with Brock, and that he was happy with what was at the park currently so that we could modify the MDA for that.
Okay, thank you.
Is that something the council was all in agreement with, or I wasn't
well, it
here?
was part of the
Yeah.
discussion
Yeah.
as to why we needed to amend that.
Yeah, Emily had updated these minutes and sent them out to us to add the part that I had requested to make clear the motion a little bit better of the intent of that motion. So, and that goes along with that.
Yeah, it kind of goes along with
Okay.
what everyone was kind of agreeing to, but I just wanted it to reflect that I was in agreement too.
Okay, perfect. All right. That sounds good. Well, I'm ready for a motion on that if there's no other requests.
I move that we approve the consent agenda A through E.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the consent agenda? We'll do a roll call on that. Councilmember Dixon,
Aye.
Councilmember Morse,
Aye.
Councilmember Call,
Aye.
Councilmember Saunders,
Aye.
and Councilmember Schwab.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries on that. Thank you. We'll move on to item 7, which is our action on Planning Commission meeting recommendations. Item A is for action on ordinance 29-2023 on our subdivision ordinance. Okay, I guess you're going to address us on that.
Maybe. Yeah, so as mentioned before in our work session, so our subdivision ordinance is being updated to reflect state mandated requirements, which primarily goes over the review cycles and the business days, timelines for that, and who our administrative land use authority is for preliminary and for final. So any questions?
I know we reviewed this in our work meeting for questions and went over a few items for that. I think, was there anything else from the council that you could think of on this? It was publicly put out there so people can review it if they want and look at it. And then we'll make some of those adjustments on there. Do we want to review some things first?
So the adjustments my understanding is the adjustments that you're talking about in work session were just on the checklists. The checklists are actually not part of the ordinance itself.
Okay.
So you want to make a motion to approve the subdivision ordinance and then, address the checklists, do kind of 2 separate motions. That might be the best.
Okay. Is the council okay with that? Okay. Let's plan on doing that then. Let's
So
go ahead
Alka,
and
this
address
puts
that.
us in compliance with everything from the legislature, that's right?
Yes, that's correct. One thing I do want to correct is the definition for business day. I think right now I have it as the days and hour of operation for the city. The definition for business day for the state is any day other than Saturday, Sunday, or legal holiday. So even though we're not open on Fridays, that still counts as
Okay.
business day.
All right, and this is actually due, we need to get this completed by February 2nd.
What was that? Sorry.
What's the due date on this to get this completed?
February 1st.
1st, okay. Perfect, okay.
I do have one question. On line 326, under the approval process. It's talking about if the developer is not the owner of the property. 326 says they need an acknowledgement that the applicant has received and reviewed the most current vision. Well, what is that acknowledgement? How do we have that, show that, receive that?
It's actually on the application itself, and typically it's notarized.
Emily, can you talk a little louder in the mic, thanks?
Yeah, sorry about that. It's on our application normally, and it's notarized that the owner does agree with what the applicant is doing.
Okay,
But this one speaks specifically to the engineering design standards and specifications. It's saying that an acknowledgement that they received and reviewed the engineering design standards, because right before that, it does talk about being notarized. That's one, and then this would be one.
That would be also on the application. That acknowledgement.
so was that a change that we would make on that, or is there any change to be made?
No, if that language isn't specifically on the application, it will be placed on the application after you pass this.
So there is only one notarized thing with everything on it, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that meet your needs on there?
Yeah, it's not,
I
if
mean-
it just says acknowledgement, how do we have it? That's my question.
Yeah, what makes the most sense is if it's on the application itself. And then we'd have it on file.
And I'm not sure which way they're leaning, but maybe if you're wanting to table this since we still have some time, I can include an updated application for you to take a look at.
Well, maybe the better thing is, if you're okay with the ordinance itself, pass it, but then January 3rd, Alka could bring back the amended checklist and also the application itself.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that, if the council's okay with that.
I am too.
Okay.
I just had 2 grammatical things, I think. Line 86,
Oh, you caught that one too.
86.
86. It says on housing, single family, an independent residential structure that sites on its own land. I think it's supposed to say sits on its own land.
Actually, no, it's supposed to say
Sites?
sites. Yep. This was actually a discussion in planning commission as to
Sites?
what the meaning of sites was. That,
That's redunculous.
well, yeah, but no, it is
Sites.
actually a word, and it actually is
Oh,
the
okay.
correct.
Is situs a word?
Situs is a word also.
Maybe you should use regular language that people know,
Where's that in the dictionary again?
because those are the ones I'm like, wait a second. Both of those, situs and sites. Those were the 2 that I had, so.
I think Mr.
Sounds like a
Commissioner-
disease,
Commissioner
situs.
Reed, I think,
In-
made that up.
Reading through
Just
this.
a thought.
So
I have
Okay.
situs.
Yeah, it got brought up that. at planning
Those are
commission,
the
we had
only ones I had.
discussion About it.
Maybe we should
This-
put that in the minutes next time so I know that you already said that. So, I'm done.
is this ordinance 19 or 29? The ordinance says 19, but our
Yeah.
other papers are saying 29.
It should be 19.
So the ordinance is correct. Our agenda has the typo. Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Good catch.
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a confusing, but we need to get so if we need any assistance from you on this one to just make sure that we get the motion correct on here.
Now I'm scared.
No need to be scared. We have guidance.
I do.
We'll take a deep breath and work through it slowly.
Okay. I move that we approve ordinance 19-2023, which is the update to the West Haven City subdivision ordinance with, do I need to even reference the updates to the checklist? Or?
No, because that's not part of the ordinance
Okay.
itself.
So we're good with just the ordinance then?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's my motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this item from the council? Okay. All right.
She was
I think
talking through her
Nina
COVID
was trying
mask.
to say something.
Councilmember Morse, did you have anything you wanted to say?
No, sorry. We're good.
Okay, are you okay? Just checking. All right, let's go ahead and we'll do a roll call on this one. Councilmember Dixon,
Aye.
Councilmember Saunders,
Aye.
Councilmember Call,
Aye.
and Councilmember Schwab,
Aye.
and Councilmember Morse.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. So thank you for that. Is there anything else we need to do on the checklist side?
If you want to just direct Alka to bring back the updated checklist and the updated application for the January 3rd meeting.
Moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on that. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that motion will carry. So if you'll help us with that, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll move on to our next item on here. Item 8 is the bid award for the bank stabilization project.
So, what's been happening with the bank stabilization? Back in January, February, the council actually passed a resolution regarding using ARPA funds to stabilize the bank of the river. Unfortunately, because of the flooding, that did not happen, which there were questions regarding why it was only 100,000. And it's taken a little while of going through this all to figure out why it was only 100,000. And part of that money was the money for river restoration for the engineering. The other part was about 60 or 70,000 for rock hard excavation, because even though they bid 205,000 and change, they ended up coming down to about 65 or something like that, because it became clear that they wouldn't be able to do the whole thing, and so they scaled it back to that 60-something number, which that's where this 100,000 came from. However, the work was never done. And then, of course, the flooding happened, and it took out a great deal more of our bank. And so what now where we're at is that River Restoration came back with Phase 0 to stabilize the riverbank in its current condition, so that we don't have any more deterioration. And so they sent over the engineering for that to be able to be done. We have sent it out to bid. There came back only one bid, and that was the Rock Hard's bid at $229,528. Ed, our engineer, and Gardner Engineering have reviewed this bid to make sure, and frankly, it's quite close to where it was last year, so we know that it's appropriate amount. But there is a possibility of us being able to do the things that were listed, here regarding and I'm talking about in-house. So Brock has actually worked with the contractor to see if these amounts could be deducted from the bid, and have our people do these items. But at this point, we would ask to approve the bid at the $229,528, direct the staff to do as much work in-house to be able to have the ultimate outgo, the ultimate payment be lower, and that also direct the staff to have, hold a public hearing for the ARPA funds, additional ARPA funds for this project up to $175,000. And I say that because you already approved the 100, you subtract 36,000, which is the amount for river restoration for all of their engineering, which leaves, there is math again. That leaves 62,635. And if you subtract the 229,528, you're at approximately, I think it's 165,000. And so we just in case thought that if we have public hearing and the ARPA up to 175, just in case. But that's January 3rd would be when the public hearing would be held for the ARPA funds. However, we need to get the bid approved tonight because the contractor needs to be put into place so that as soon as the January date hits, where there's a whole bunch of different factors going on. Some of it has to do with there was repairs being made with water that's going into Willard Bay. There's whether how much water is coming down the river. There's some different factors that are happening in January, and we need to have the contractor be in place and ready to go as soon as it is absolutely, as soon as it's possible. And so that's where we're at and why it's so important to have it done tonight.
Amy, I was just wondering, the 2750 for traffic control, what traffic are we controlling on the river? Is it animal traffic control or people traffic control?
You happen to know what the traffic control is?
I mean, I could see where we might have to put up barricades and keep people off the trail for a time, but I just Seems odd that we have traffic control on the river restoration project.
Hold on, let me see if I can see in the bid. Which the bid form is one that Gardner Engineering put together. So hold on just a second, and that was one of those things that
We can do.
that I can ask. I can ask them specifically what traffic, but Gardner Engineering put together this form that these are the items that need to be dealt with for this project.
Okay.
But I can
I was just
can get further
curious
information
about
for you.
that. If we were going to have a trail for the raccoons.
Emily thinks that it's most likely traffic control for them to be able to bring the trucks in and move the.
Okay, got it. Thank you. That would make sense.
So that's part of what West Haven will be able to handle, right?
Yeah.
So how much do they think they'll be able to do? Have they given you an
That's
idea?
what this list is in the staff report.
Right.
A total of, they're thinking about 34,240 is what, but, which would leave the anticipated total 195,288, but there's an additional seed cost. So that's why we're asking to have the bid awarded at 229, but the contractor is willing to work with us regarding these other factors that we can bring down that cost.
And where do we stand with FEMA on any of this at all?
Still haven't heard anything from FEMA. The documents have been submitted, but there has been no decision made from FEMA.
So is that a recoup if FEMA brings in some funding?
Yes, is what my understanding is from our engineer.
Yeah, I mean, I reviewed some of the costs on here. I mean, we're talking about $450 a rock and $450 for installation. It's $900 for a rock to put in there.
Yes, but that's,
And there's 106 rocks going in there. So it's extremely expensive to do this, but that's why I was just wondering if those, with the engineering of it and everything, it seems like there's other options that could have been put in there, but especially if they're not showing, if it's like hidden or buried in certain things, they could put something different in there that's not so expensive, but.
well, they're going off of, Rock Hard is going off of the engineered plans that came from River Restoration.
Right.
And, even though we only got this one bid, the last year's bid was at 205, and because we got two bids last year, one was at 205 and the other one was, I think, 226. No, it was at 250, sorry. So it actually is right in line with what the competitive bids from last year, but there has to be more work. There was actually more engineering that had to be done because of the flooding and the loss of we had pretty extensive loss of riverbank, which you guys witnessed when we went out for the field trip in October.
So that's a wide span across there. I don't know with the river stabilization folks, when they talked about that, they wanted to try and split that, or
Yeah,
There's just a lot
there's actually
with the-
different phases for this, for additional things. But phase 0 is the minimum that we need to do to stabilize this riverbank.
how much bank are we getting back, do you think? With all this that we're putting in here, how much bank we lost? 40 to 50 feet, I understand, somewhere in there, give or take.
We're not getting any back with this particular phase. We are stabilizing
Stabilizing.
it so we don't lose any more.
Wow, that's a lot of money for stabilization.
It is, but that's what it's very specific engineering. It's very, because this engineering that was done isn't done by our engineer. It had to be done by a very specific firm regarding the river.
Yeah, I hope we get some FEMA funds for this in the long run. But what other questions does the council have? Guess that's none? Okay.
I guess I'll venture a motion that we approve the bid award for the bank stabilization project.
To
Second.
Rock Hard.
To Rock Hard
Million.
Excavating in the amount of $229,528.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this project? Okay, let's just do a regular vote on this. Is that okay? Do we need to do an
Need to do a
individual?
roll call.
Let's do a roll call on this one then. Okay, Councilmember Saunders,
Aye.
Councilmember Dixon,
Aye.
Councilmember Swap,
Aye.
and Councilmember Call,
Aye.
and Councilmember Morse.
Aye.
Okay, this carries and we'll move forward with it then at this point. Thanks for that. We'll move on to item 9.
Before you move on, sorry, could you give the staff direction that to set the public hearing regarding the ARPA funds for January 3rd?
Yes, I think we can do that.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor for that?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Staff is directed.
Thank you.
You betcha. All right, let's move to item 9 on here, a discussion and possible action for the bleachers at the R. Kenneth Baldwin Country Park. I think we had some discussion on that during our work session.
And I think that the discussion was tabling action so that Councilmember Swap could take a look at the possibility of reducing the concrete pad.
Okay.
Okay, everybody good with that? So I'm open for a motion for that.
I move that we table the action on the bleachers at the R. Kenneth Baldwin Country Park until Councilmember Swap can get more information on the cement pad.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, we'll move forward with tabling that and look forward to the information that we get from that. Hopefully that'll save us a little money, hopefully. On item 10, action on resolution 45-2023 for an interlocal agreement between West Haven City and the Weber School District.
I would ask that the council table this item so that I can go back to the school district and get percentages for future maintenance costs.
Okay,
Do we have a cost on the driveway approach that was discussed in there?
It's up to $500.
Okay, so it's pretty minimal.
Yeah.
any other questions on this before we move forward on that?
We're talking the gymnasium right now, right?
Yeah, this is the gymnasium.
Well, I mean, I completely agree about the maintenance. What about the operating expenses? How do you measure that?
Well, that's,
Percentage.
yeah, percentage. So maintenance and operating expenses, I'll ask to get
Okay.
the percentages for both
That's
of those.
good. That's what I want.
I think it's just a piece of the clarification that will help us to establish that so that it's fair for the district and for the for the city.
Yep.
Okay, I'm ready for a motion on that.
I'll make
Aye.
a motion to table resolution 45-2023, the interlocal agreement between West Haven City and Weber School District.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carried to table. All right, item 11, action on resolution 46, 20-2023 for memorandum of understanding between the West Haven City and the Weber School District.
So with this, the school district was building the new junior high, and we had an unimproved road. This road is part of our master transportation plan, and the city saw an opportunity to be able to improve this road, you know, and have substantial improvement on it with not having as much of a cost to the city, which is Wilson Lane. And so this MOU would require us to reimburse the district 1/2 the actual construction costs. We'd also reimburse the city 50% of a new drive approach for one of the impacted residents, which is up to a maximum of $500. And then it also affirms that this is a public street, and we are responsible for the perpetual operation and maintenance of the same. The payment for this would come out of our transportation impact fees. And because it was already listed in our facilities plan with the impact fee analysis, then it's eligible for that transportation impact fees.
So I had a question on this. So this is going from 2,700 past the junior high to 2,400, and then going, then I guess you can turn south and go through the rest of the subdivision, or north to get to 1,800 south. How does this compare with what's going to happen with 1,800 south to 2,100 south? How is this going to be? I guess I just have that question of will be a stop sign and another entrance to 1,800 south, which is already there, I guess. All right, I think I just figured out my own question. Thank you.
Okay.
Just had to talk it out in my head. So this will go to 2,400 south, which is part of Fairhaven right now, and then they can go north to 1,800. I think that's what I'm saying.
Is that a question, or is that?
No, it's it's one of those math things that I had to do in my head.
Started as a question, became a statement.
All right, I'm
did.
good with
So-
that. I just needed to.
I wish I could do that more often.
Okay. Any other questions on this? There's a lot of detail in this and history behind this, but this is something that has been committed to.
And it is actually already completed at this point.
Yes. So if there's no other questions, I'm ready for a motion.
I will make a motion to approve resolution 46-2023, the memorandum of understanding between West Haven City and the Weber School District.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this particular project? Okay, we'll do a roll call on this. Councilmember Call,
Aye.
Councilmember Saunders,
Aye.
Councilmember Morse,
Aye.
Councilmember Dixon,
Aye.
and Councilmember Schwab.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries at this point. All right, thank you. On that one, are we going to move into this next one on here?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to move to item 12 on here for an executive session. The council will enter into a closed meeting for the purpose of strategy session to discuss the character and professional competence of an individual to be held in accordance with the provisions of Utah Code 52-4-205. And I will need a motion to move into this executive session from our public session.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the council will move into that executive session. Thank you guys for Okay, perfect. Okay, we are back from our executive session. The council did enter into a closed meeting for the purpose of strategy session to discuss the character and professional competence of an individual, to be held in accordance with the provisions of Utah Code 52-4-205. I'll need a motion to move from our executive session back to our public meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Let's go ahead and do a vote on that. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, we'll move back into our public session. And we're just going to hold tight for just a few minutes. Is there any other discussions anybody wants to bring up about Santa Claus?
We need to adjourn this meeting.
Didn't we? Do we need to adjourn?
We need to adjourn it.
Gotcha. We're going to move to adjourn.
So
Need a
moved.
motion. I can't do it. I need you guys to.
She did it so moved, and I seconded it.
Excellent. All right. Any further discussion on the adjournment? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
We are adjourned.